Our upside targets were met again, and rejection came without a doubt. The good thing here is that we're knocking at the door of a critical resistance, and the break of that resistance can introduce a following resistance zone of about $5 plus. Let's pop open the charts for an edge over tomorrow's session. Welcome back to the channel on this happy Monday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol FNGR. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive in to ticker symbol FNGR. And what we're observing here is actually the 12-hour time frame, of which we actually noticed that we got a top side target met, right? So this is the resistance level that we spoke of just yesterday in last night's thread, right? 443 to 455 with a 451 focus zone, right? So now if we go over to today's candle here, right? So it's actually the balance between these two here. So this is a 12-hour chart, remember. So the top side of this candle here, you can see on the H here from the OHLC, the open high low close, that it reached $4.50. So we actually came pretty close to the targets that we were talking about, right? Not bad whatsoever. Now, following that candle, we actually ended up getting a top side of about 445, which is that same resistance level that we've been talking about for quite some time. It is a difficult one to get over, but there could be a chance at play. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of go over here the manipulation chart, right? Because there are some things that we should talk about. Well, particularly for today. This is the second day of no manipulation right now, so the asset is not completely capitulating whatsoever, right? I do understand that we came down from that 445 to 425, right? But, you know, sometimes the asset needs to take a breather before it can continue on to that upside. If you are so interested, please go ahead and get in touch with us at arqindicators@gmail.com to get yourself a subscription with this composer algorithm being the one of them that are included, right? The one algorithm that actually displays manipulation in the charts. Okay, so now next chart here. So we actually noted here that we could be breaking out from this ascending triangle. So it actually ended up kind of trapping, right? It did come down all the way to the bottom side of this larger ascending triangle, which we speculated on, right? We knew that we may actually do that, and then we would actually recover. So good news is that we actually oh, we didn't. My goodness. Okay, so we actually closed this candle here after hours at $4. And what is the close on this? $4.29. It's smack in the middle of the regression band, so that usually gives us a little bit of kind of an indecision here, right? Because we had a pretty massive bullish engulfing here, and then the asset just kind of rejected that. And still, I did not read any manipulation there at the later part of the day. So now, just to kind of highlight the targets that we're reaching. Right, so this is that critical resistance that we're facing right now, right? I understand that today we reached that high of $4.50, but still, we already knew that we may reach that target, but still that 445 located right about here is still that critical resistance that we're facing, trying to recover the inside of this wedge, right? So if we do recover the inside of this wedge, I do believe that there could be a run with a tiny resistance, and this could be just a small time frame resistance of 460 back down to 445 to validate the conversion of resistance into support before a continuation to the upside into touching the $5 zone, right? So of course we have some resistance levels to observe here, and these are some of those right here, right? $5 to 518 with a focus zone of about $5.12. Okay, so and looking at this in the larger time frame, and I don't want to say anything there just yet. And okay, so if we're identifying a potential chop area, then we could be observing here a range between 418 and about 458, of which we can actually consolidate in before we can continue on to the upside. It's still okay, it's just not ideal for the asset, right? So I don't know if there's actually anything fundamentally in line or whatever, but that could certainly help with price action at the present moment. Okay, so daily time frame does have the EMA 21 located right at about 458, which is the resistance that we just spoke of right up in here, right? So that could be an area that we can find resistance from, seeing that the daily time frame EMA 21 is located there, right? And we are using that 21 exponential moving average as kind of a resistance. So if we do face a resistance there, I mean, I really hate to say this, but we may actually experience here a downside, and I can't tell if it's going to happen just yet. If it does, it would be the daily time frame validation of the SMA 200 as support, and that would be located at about $3.68. But we still have we still have kind of a ways to make sure that doesn't happen, right? So now in the larger time frame, I am liking the fact that we are closing, or we're actually in the process of building a candle that's potentially going to close above the opening of the prior bar, right? So the opening of the prior bar would be here at around 398, and the closing of this prior bar is around 423. We're sitting at 432 right now, so it would be highly ideal for us to close at least above the close of the prior bar, which being that 423, right? And especially if we get to close above the prior bar high, which we already broke, which is good news. If we can close above that prior bar high, that'd be great. So that would be 445, that dreaded number 445, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and observe what else we have here, right? I want to go ahead and pull up the RSI, as there could be some indications here for us to use into tomorrow's session, right? Just remember that we're going over a forecast probability here. And please remember, team, to get yourselves I do this, right? Please remember to get yourselves enrolled in my last 16-week mentorship endeavor, right? So this is going to be the last one to present, and it is the ArcMasters course at gmail.com. We already have the Track 3 students started, and they are going towards their 4th week. Track 4 students should begin in January, and we'll be able to finish everything off within a few months from there, right? But it is a 16-week mentorship program, and it is meant to start from the very beginnings of trading, right? So literally from the very, very essence of what a candle even is, right? All the way up to advanced topics and mathematical application. So ArcMastersCourse at gmail.com. Get yourself enrolled before it's too late. And yeah, so last part of the analysis here is the RSI. So 30-minute immediate short-term time frame already suggesting a continuation to the downside here. Same situation on the bi-hourly, except the bi-hourly is located at a support. That support is actually the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, right? So this could bounce. And now seeing that the 4-hour time frame is at the support and also at the gravitational zone, that is of higher probability. And also, the 8-hour time frame appears to already be doing that, right? So the only thing that I see here is that there could be a resistance in the immediate short-term time frame based on that bounce because of this here. The 12-hour time frame is indicating a continuation to the downside, but not only just the downside here. It's to the SMA 14, which is located right within the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile. This has a shot to succeed the the underside of the SMA 14. And of course, your upper time frames, daily, 3-day, and 5-day, are still in consolidation, right? So we're just going to have to go ahead and see how these time frames react to the shorter time frame analysis, right? So for now, the short-term downside could be, let's see. Let's go ahead and bring the charts up one more time here and see what we have. Yeah, short-term downside could be located right at about, I'd say about $4.24. It is a range. So 424, and let me see what is the target that's most used here. Yeah, I would say 422. So 424 to 422, immediate short-term downside before a potential upside, right? So just like always, we're just going to have to go ahead and observe the hourly time frame so that we can get the next candles, the next two potential hourly candles to close upside of this linear regression band right down here, right? So if we can close above that with an hourly candle, that would suggest a repair. And that bottom side is, guess what? Right at 424, right? So yeah, it is looking like we would be able to get that downside too, right? So remember, the targets are 424 to 422. All right, team. So you know the risks, you know the upside and downside If any questions, go ahead and get in touch with me. But for now, I think we're good. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as it cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never, never, never. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.